Right. G'day, everyone.
How's it going? We're back.
It's been a while.
Has been a long time. A big break between episodes. We don't even know what episode we're up to. So whatever episode it is, we'll be back shortly, and we'll kick it off.
See you in a bit.
Never break, always fight, never quit, do it right, play the game, win it life, have no shame, there's no time.
And like and subscribe, make sure you hit the post notifications. You are now watching ECITV.
Thank you.
I'll be watching.
All right, Gazza, what are we going to kick off with? We've got a few discussion topics that were sent in to us. And
We've probably got a couple of things that have happened over the past 12 months or something since we've last done an episode.
I think it was 6 months, and there has been a lot going on. We've just moved into this new warehouse.
Massive amount of things. We've had a couple of family tragedies.
Oh.
We've had moving into the relocating ECI.
Oh, I've met all 4 of our fans.
Hi to all of you.
I can just about name them. I think there's a Sean, David Ramey, and a couple of others. I can't remember the names.
We have actually had a fair few hit us up and asking when we were going to get back on track. But yeah, there's just been a lot going on in our lives. And now we're back, which is really good. And it's amazing, actually, by not doing a few episodes, wandering around at race meetings or just in general discussion, it's amazing the amount of people that have asked us, when are you going to come back? Because, you know, they did actually enjoy it. And we didn't realise that there was actually a few people out there that did watch the show. So
even funnier than that, I was doing a very private walkthrough at USA BMX headquarters. Private. Sean was there.
yeah, nothing's private when Sean's there.
Bill Ryan, Nick Valencia, and there was another guy who was pretty quiet, wasn't sure who he was. He said, "Oh, my name's Dave." Walking around, we've done the tour, we're probably about 3/4 of the way in, and Sean said, "Oh, we should have recorded this so we could put it up on socials or whatever." And I said, "Well, I've already been on that tour. I've already recorded it once, so that's all cool." And David Ramey goes, "I watched the show."
Jeez.
And it was a local guy. He goes, "Oh, I only really watched the industry interviews," but he goes, "Yeah, I know you guys."
Jeez, that's amazing, isn't it?
And so this is in Tulsa in Oklahoma.
Yeah, that's incredible. You actually had a few people mention that over at the Grands, didn't you?
Yeah. People recognise me from other interviews and things like that.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
You don't realise that you do reach far afield, sitting here in Woorolloc in this little corner talking away. You don't realise the reach that we actually have. So
Definitely didn't realise the reach that the BMX gear calculator, the Ultra gear calculator had. Everyone knew about it, and a lot of people were just using it right in front of me. I mean, obviously, while I was at the US, we recorded a whole bunch of interviews with people, spent a bit of time with Profile, and then obviously went on a road trip with the guys from Profile, which was kind of a bit of a bucket list item for me.
Incredible.
But now I've got the hankering. I want to do it again.
Oh, serious? I didn't even spoke to you about that. I thought Gus might have burnt you out a bit with how many, 30 hours on the road or something?
I think we left. The whole lot's a blur.
Yeah.
It was at least, I think it was 28 hours, so pretty close to 30.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So you're keen to do it again?
I'd do it again for sure.
Yeah. I know. Look, Profile's an amazing place to go to. It really is, and they're great people and very welcoming and everything. So even Florida itself is a fantastic place to visit.
Yeah. And the guys there were really keen to spread the story, about manufacturing everything in-house in the US and how quickly they can go from concept to actually creating an item just in-house.
It's amazing when it all is in-house. I don't think people realise that virtually everything's done in there, even the stickers and banners and posters and all that sort of stuff is done in-house.
No stickers and banners. I think their machines broke down and they went in a hurry to fix them.
But they normally do do them in-house, which is fantastic. So, that's interesting that you're keen to go back again and do it all again. Yeah, that's really good. Well, your visit also coincided with their 55th anniversary or close to it?
Well, close to it, yeah. They were doing a lot of preparation. They were talking about some new products. So if you look at the interviews, they talk about a new hub set, new stem. Well, this has come out since. It's new T-shirts too, which you need to order.
Coming out soon. Yeah.
A whole whole bunch of things. I think Gary's got some of these 55th anniversary badges and stickers here. So if you're a keen profile person, you might want to get in touch with ECI and see if you can get your hands on some of the stickers. They come in some of the hub boxes now, don't they?
They do, actually. Yeah, they come standard in a lot of the hub boxes, especially the 55th anniversary gold hubs.
Which we'll talk about a little bit later.
Jumping the gun.
Also, while I was at Grands, I did a few interviews. So with George from Renan.
Yep.
Spoke about a whole bunch of his products that were made for grommets for the little kids.
Spoke with George or listened to George?
I listened.
he loves the chat.
I was challenged a little bit with some technical issues. We spoke with Ray from Fly about the 2023 race gear.
Yep.
I think it was. Who else? We did talk to the guys from Daylight, but that video has been pulled because he said he was very tired at the time.
Oh, okay.
And he released a bit too much information. And he said,
okay.
He said, I'll let you know when it's right to go again. And 6 months later, I still haven't. And then after Tulsa, we went across to California and I spent a bit of time with Toby at Box.
Yep.
Who else did we see? The guys at ODI. We went, did a factory walk through there. And Supercross.
Amazing amount of footage and everything you got and the amount of places you got into to get that footage.
Yeah.
It's incredible. In that short period of time you were over there, it's amazing. You must have just had a camera going nearly the whole time.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Trying to balance charging with racing and, talking to people and just enjoying it as well. I mean, it's not kind of your typical holiday. I wasn't there just to kick back and relax.
Yeah.
I was there to make the most of it, and I think I did.
And there was a lot of Australians over there too, wasn't there?
There were. It was surprising. And a lot of people, Dane, who's a local here in Melbourne,
Yep.
he just showed up without telling me he was going, even though I was discussing with him about insurance and stuff leading into it. He goes, oh, yeah, someone asked about this. And I'm sure he was doing it for himself.
Yeah, it's if you ever get the opportunity, the Grands is just an incredible event to go to. It's massive and it's just, the pinnacle, basically. They class it as the greatest race on earth, and it really is.
There was something like 4,000 riders.
It's incredible.
It was amazing. I mean, it was really long days, but it was great. I mean, Tulsa was freezing cold. It was just a massive plain. The whole place is just flat, cold breeze blowing through. But we're inside a big, fully enclosed shed, basically, and the track was in one area and then all the pits and everything were in another area. You didn't have to go outside for anything if you didn't want to.
I think it's one of the largest unsupported single-span enclosed buildings in America.
I believe that.
It's huge. Yeah,
it's quite impressive.
Just massive.
Outside, it just looks like a big shed, but inside, with it all set up, it was very impressive.
Yeah.
And I did do a ride through. So there is a video at bmxultra.com on YouTube. I literally just rode through all of the spectator area, having a look at all the team tents, and there was a big second-hand bike alley, which was millions of dollars worth of bikes people were trying to flog off.
It's incredible because even the independent, the mum and dad type setups, because the kids are there all day, and I think we've covered this previously, that they'll set up a pit tent in the domestic area, I suppose you could call it. And they'll have fridge, beds, lounge suites, coffee tables and everything, because they have their Thanksgiving dinners there, because it is on that weekend. But also because it's such a long day that the kids can race and they can go to bed, have a sleep during the day and then get up and race again.
Between motos,
they're massive days between motos. So they really do have an incredible setup. It's worth going just to have a look at all that.
There were some adults doing that, sleeping between
motos.
I would.
Guaranteed.
I think...
a long day just to sit in a bleacher. So.
Andrew and Zach and Matty White, they were going back for a snooze. But I mean, I was soaking it in. I was there from, I don't know, I think we were there at 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock in the morning, pretty much every morning until about 10 or 11 at night. Yeah. So, I mean, it was big, but...
It sounds like that just seems 12 months ago or whatever. I know it was a long time ago, and it seems like old news, but we're covering it just simply because we haven't had a chance to talk to anyone.
We haven't even spoke to each other about it.
No, things have been pretty chaotic, But things are back on track now, so we should be able to bring out some regular regular episodes and everything from now on.
And in our comfy new couch setting.
Bit more relaxing, sitting behind the little blue bar that we used to, and we've got a whole warehouse here that we'll show you eventually once we're finally settled in fully. But yeah, this is one corner.
We need our romantic candles, and we can feed each other.
I don't know about, well, peel some grapes and some strawberries dipped in chocolate, and we're getting a bit weird now, but yeah. So what else have we got?
Well, last night I put a bit of a shout out on our socials saying that we're going to record a show and what do people want us to discuss. There were a few things actually, and some of them were quite good. One of them was so in Victoria here, the state championships were going to be held in Warrnambool, but Warrnambool have decided the track wouldn't be ready in time, which is unfortunate because it's a great place and we had a great time last time we were down there.
Definitely.
So where do we think that the state championships will be held now? It hasn't been announced. So my understanding, and this is just information I've managed to collect over the last week, is Wyndham had put their name in for the state championships when Warrnambool did, and there was only the two clubs that were going for it.
It applied, yeah.
So you would assume that Wyndham were next in line. I did see an email from Oz Cycling saying, hey, if you're interested in hosting it, we're taking nominations. So I don't think they're going to just automatically take Wyndham, but it'd be nice to see Wyndham apply again, and hopefully they do get it. I also heard rumours that Knox would like to host it, and also rumours that they might be held in Shepparton, and I mean, that'd be nice because their nationals are going to be in Shepparton just weeks later, but it puts a lot of stress on the Shepparton club, and they're doing top secret track changes, which probably aren't top secret anymore, that none of us have seen, we've only heard about. So I wouldn't like to put too much pressure on Shepparton.
Look, there's a lot of advantages and disadvantages. The fact that, like you said, the nationals are there not that long after. It'd be great to get more practice on Shepparton, especially if there are track changes. But then it's also good to see it shared around a little bit, to Knox or Wyndham or someone like that that's prepared and put their hand up for it. I mean, emotionally, you would think Wyndham should be the logical choice simply because they were the original applicants with Warrnambool. So
they did a great job of their state championships a few years back.
Yeah. My one and only state title was held there.
Really?
Won there many years ago.
It was many years ago. The track changed quite a bit since then.
It was back there, Layla Park back then. Wrong track?
Wrong track.
Wrong track.
Close.
It's the same state?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's even the same country.
State of confusion?
No, Wyndham's up the road a bit around the corner.
Oh, okay. So what's Layla track now? Northern. That's what I'm thinking of.
Northern, Wyndham. They do sound the same.
Yeah. God. Like I said, it's been pretty hectic here, and things are a bit confused.
And dementia's settled.
Yeah. What do you mean, Shane? Sean? Glenn? What's your name?
So if you were to make an assumption just based on that information, who do you think would maybe get it?
Oh, look, I'd probably like to see it go to Wyndham just because, anyone who's prepared to put their hand up initially, they should follow through.
Yeah.
But the other facilities are fantastic also. So it doesn't really matter. I think we're a bit fortunate there that we have got some great facilities in Victoria that we can share it around a bit. But like I said, I can see the advantage of going to Shepparton. Just if they've got some track changes and the nationals aren't that far away, to get some more practice on there's a great idea. But then a lot of the riders do go up to Shepparton to practice on the track prior to the nationals. So you'll get enough track time. It's just the infrastructure as to who wants to run it. And I think if Wyndham's put their hand up, they're prepared, I think they should go there.
Yeah, absolutely. Like you said, and the state titles aren't that far away, so the decision has to be made quickly, and there wouldn't be too many clubs ready to host it straight away.
No. So yeah, that's a good topic of discussion.
Yeah. So maybe in the comments, post who you think is going to be hosting our state championships.
Or who would you like to host it as well?
I considered applying for BSX, but it'd take a lot longer.
Yeah, I think it'd take a while to set that up.
not quite ready yet.
No.
And one of the other discussion topics was the Paradigm bicycles. So I don't know if you got a chance to watch the video that I did.
I haven't watched that video.
Of course.
Like I don't watch virtually any of the videos. But the fact that that was only last weekend.
Last weekend, yeah.
Yeah. So I know you attended.
Yeah.
So it's probably worthwhile you discussing that.
So the guys at Paradigm, you didn't even see any of your photos?
Yeah, I saw the photos
okay.
of all the bikes and everything and the different bikes.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe people aren't aware of what the actual show was. So.
So the show was the Australian Handmade Bike Show.
Yep.
It mostly was dominated by road and mountain bike bicycles, but Paradigm entered the show last year with one frame, and were so happy with the show and the feedback that they figured they'd expand and go in full blown this year. Yep. So they had 2 BMX frames and 1 mountain bike dirt jumper, which was a last minute entry, and I think that actually got them more attention than they expected. So they're Dane and Paul from Paradigm have created a chrome moly, pretty much a built to order frame, which has so many different options. I mean, most of the frames that they've built have pretty long front ends, but that's because Dane's 6'4", I think he said he was.
Yeah. And
Paul likes running a long frame as well, a front frame for his front. But they've got so many ideas and such a great looking frame. I mean, you have seen the photos.
I've seen the photos. They are brilliant.
The welds are
Incredible.
amazing.
Yeah.
The finishes on them, even the decals are really clean, and it's amazing. Like, Australia hasn't really had a very big industry for quite a long time, and it just seems to be expanding. And to see frames actually made here in Melbourne, even though it's very nichey with its chrome moly, what they do offer is a frame that is built for you rather than you trying to apply yourself to an off-the-shelf frame. Not that that's a bad thing. It seems to work for a lot of people.
Majority.
Obviously, with the niche and with the cost of materials and everything, they're a little bit more expensive to build, so they're not for everyone. But there are definitely a lot of people interested, and even when I was there, there's a whole lot of people looking at the stuff. So the 2 toe cutter frames, which are the BMX frames, were slightly different from each other. One had standard horizontal dropouts, and the other one had a fixed rear end. So it had a fixed dropout and a chain tensioner to take the tension on the chain. So, and I think one of them was built as a mullet setup, so it had a OS20 front end, 20-inch rear, where the other one was 20 front and rear. So very customizable. It was good to see the contrast of those 2 frames there on display and what's possible.
And obviously they've got enough talent and design know-how that no matter what concept you come up with, they could, pretty well fabricate something to suit.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they've got pretty much everything you would need, but then they've got the ability to change it to what you might think that you might want for the future. So they've put a tapered steerer tube in there, but if you decide you want to go straight 1 1/8, they can do that.
One was belt drive?
No, there was a belt drive frame there. It was a titanium thing.
Okay.
Chinese made.
Oh, okay. I thought one of them was belt drive.
No, they're standard chains. Yeah, there's lots of exciting stuff. I mean, they had European bottom brackets, but I said to Dane, what if someone wanted to press fit? He goes, yeah, we could do that.
Yeah.
And obviously varying the front and the rear end lengths and all that sort of stuff. So if you want to find out more about those, go to BMX Ultra or just check out the YouTube channel, and there's videos and photos and heaps of information. Or go to Paradigm Bikes on their Instagram and Facebook and check those out. They're pretty cool.
They weren't the only Victorian-based manufacturer there, though.
No. So off the top of my head, there was also Trevor Webber, and I'm not sure what his branding is. So I know he uses BMX Chop Shop. He uses BMX 50. There's a couple of other names.
Soul.
Yes.
Yeah. Soul.
R for Robert.
Yep.
Soul. Yep. And apparently he's got a lot of soul. So he had 3 new frames that were all very different to each other and quite unique. Also chrome moly builds. I'm not sure what his intentions with those are, but I think they're pretty much custom.
Yep.
he does a lot of work with Chromo, repairing frames and making handlebars, and so he decided to just make his own frames just because he can.
Yeah.
But he did talk about going again next year, so obviously there's a
cool
future
one.
for the brand, but I'm just not sure what the branding is. It's
Yep,
a bit confusing there. There was also a titanium built frame by an Aussie company who have their gear made in China.
Was that Cam's?
That was
Cam.
as far as I know, Cam Gardner's.
Yep. Yep.
So that was belt drive.
Oh, that's probably the belt drive one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I had a quick look at that, but titanium, yeah. I'm not that fussed on.
Made in China. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, I don't think I got any photos of that either. Actually, I would have shown you.
Yeah.
But there was a.
You should have done a video of it, so I couldn't have watched it.
Well, what's the point then? But apart from that, it was, like I said, a lot of roadie and a lot of.
Well, that handmade bike whole concept and industry and everything's all been around fixies and road and that style of market for so long.
Yeah.
You know, it's such a big thing.
There were some former BMXers there. There was Jane Olorenshaw and Steve.
Oh, okay.
Can't remember his surname. With Sun Graphics.
Okay.
And they do a lot of custom paint jobs. So they did the custom paint job on Ben Thompson's Sun to make it look like the Interceptor from Mad Max.
Yep.
And he said they've been getting quite a bit of BMX inquiries. And I think he's going to be doing a special paint job for somebody going to the World Championships.
Yep. Okay.
So, yeah.
Oh, excellent.
A little bit of BMXing.
Bit of an exciting thing for Melbourne to have the handmade bike show like that.
Yeah.
Next year I might try and make the effort to go along and have a look.
Definitely worth it. And it was down in Williamstown, which is always a nice little drive.
Yeah. Too far from here.
We can have fish and chips on the beach in the cold.
And there was another topic of discussion too that was put in track surfaces.
Track surfaces. Well,
I mean, we probably won't go into it a great deal because we do need to research it a little bit more. But one of the suggestions of a topic of discussion were the varying track surfaces and the pros and cons of it.
Yeah.
So it'd be good to probably get someone in that's a bit more up to date with that. To sit and discuss it a little bit more. So
we don't know anyone that actually applies surfaces. But other races. I know when 6 surface tracks started being rolled out here in Victoria, there were riders saying, I don't want to ride on a 6 surface track. I'll ride anything else but 6 surface. And it seems like there's more 6 surface tracks here than there's not.
Yeah.
Or at least that style of surface. Yeah. Shepparton had 6 surface and Bendigo and Northern and Knox. So it seemed to be the way things were going. I'm old school. I've been racing since 1982. We used to race in the mud and, if you couldn't pedal, they wouldn't put some fancy surface down. You'd have to run across the mud and it was more like, what's that, cross-country mountain biking club?
Oh, yeah, I know the one you mean, yeah.
Can't think of it.
Well, that's back in the days when you used to have white car tyres lining the tracks.
It only took them 20 years to realise they were too dangerous.
Yeah.
But tracks have changed. They got a lot faster, and it's a real concern to me. Like in car racing, if things get faster, they do things to slow the track down.
Yeah.
They do things to make the cars safer.
Yeah.
But with BMX, racing's getting faster and faster, training's getting more intense. They're not doing anything to make the track safer. You don't see, nothing to stop riders from going over the top of berms at 50 kilometres an hour. And we've seen horrific accidents, and you can just list off riders who are no longer competing because they can't.
And you wonder about those sort of accidents and everything and the horrific things that those families go through. But how many other families are deterred from the sport because they've seen that? That's the other thing that you never take into account.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys that are probably about my age, maybe a little bit younger. There's a lot of guys younger than me who might turn up with a second generation BMXer and go to a track and think, well, this hill's about 4 times the size of what I used to race at. I'm not saying an 8-metre hill, but a 6-metre hill is still about 4 times the size of what some of the old starting hills were. Yeah. I don't want to send my kid off that and let's just go back to football or whatever. You know, it's a difficult thing. I understand progression of a sport, and BMX seemed to change a lot when they were driving it towards an Olympic sport. And it's not like 100 metres running put a shark pit at the end of the 100 metres to make it more exciting for people to watch. So I don't know why BMX had to change so much. Personally, I'm not going to go off an 8-metre hill and jump a big double, but I'd love watching, 100 guys and 40 girls doing it. It's just amazing, but I just don't see why they would put their bodies on the line for such little return.
There's been a few incidences too where, you're saying, the next generation, the original generation are bringing the next generation, but the problem is the original generation think, I'll jump on a bike. I used to race, but the tracks are so different, so much faster, and we're getting a few injuries of those older people. Yeah. That their expectations and their memories of how they used to ride, the tracks are so much different and so faster now that we've had a few that have come to grief.
I've noticed a few people coming into the sport late. Some have been out for a long time and some had never competed before. And going back to talking about the 6 surface, when that's applied, the people that apply it seem to roll off the lips of jumps. So tracks like Northern don't have a lot of kick on their jumps. If you want to jump, you really have to huck. Compared to somewhere like a Park Orchards or a lot of other tracks out there. So these riders that are coming into the sport after not having raced for a long time are able to pump those tracks really easily. But then they'll get to, say, a Wyndham where the jumps are a bit more pointy and that's where they're going to hurt themselves. Yeah,
because they're also going, 5-10 kilometres an hour faster than what they ever used to.
Well, yeah, in a lot of cases they're a lot stronger than they were when they were 13 years old. Yeah. And the bikes were too short to get any kind of speed on. But yeah, I mean, like you said, that's a massive topic, and it'd be nice to get a few more people in to bounce some ideas. But for me, I'm getting heavier, and I'm trying to compete with that. I'm trying to drop a few kilos, and I've hit a lot of different surfaces lately. And the ones that scare me the most are bitumen and 6 surface, because you seem to hit them and you don't skid.
Yeah, you don't slide. It just grips.
So the impact is greater and the damage from that impact is greater. Yeah. I mean, I've fallen at Park Orchards and they got like a loose surface, like a gravel surface. And I tended to slide. I'm grateful that they haven't sealed that because of the way I fell. So if I had to choose, I mean, I've chosen BSX. It's a clay track. Yeah. Can't ride it during winter, but I don't care. Yeah. If I'm going to fall, I'm going to fall on clay and I'm just going to slide and get little burns. I'm not going to get, gravel under my skin that's going to get infected. I'm not going to get I'm not going to get just grated away to nothing from, the 6 surface. But, I mean, I'll ride whatever's out there. I mean, we're going to Sydney and I don't even know what surface that has in 4 weeks' time at MacArthur. Yeah. Can't remember.
Is that 4 weeks away?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're coming for a trip?
No. Too much happening.
But, I mean, BMX is BMX. It's progression. Yep. I mean, I'm going to deal with it, whatever. I'm just going to pad up more and try to drop weight, because they say the bigger you are, harder you fall, and I've fallen pretty hard lately and I'm a bit sick of it, to be honest.
It is a good topic for discussion. I think we can do pretty well a whole episode on that. And if we can get a couple of people in and, I'm sure there's people out there that have got different opinions and everything, and we can, with especially riders, that we can get in and discuss it.
Well, there is an extension of that topic is I was talking to Ryan, I think last week, or maybe the week before, and he was talking about how tyres are being wearing out a lot quicker these days and delaminating, and I'm starting to believe that that's because the tyres were designed for dirt tracks with bitumen corners, and now they're not just dirt tracks. They're sealed, almost like riding on the road. Yeah. That 6 surface looks great, but like I said, it's it's like a sandpaper,
I was
and
going to
that's
say,
going
it's
to
like
wear
riding on sandpaper.
it's going to wear your tire out quicker.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So
Yeah, massive subject.
yeah, so I reckon we might even see new compounds in tyres just to give longer wear. And
Yep.
but yeah, let's wait for somebody else to come on board, and we'll talk about that a whole lot more.
No, definitely.
So there were our 3 discussion topics.
Yep.
We've got
Keeping in mind that was a great idea of yours to put that out on social. So if you do have a topic you want us to discuss or want us to research or anything like that, just hit us up on socials or whatever. And we'll get someone in and talk about it and might answer a few questions that you're not aware of or we're not aware of, or subjects that we're not aware of. So it'd be, it's good to have those ideas come forward. We're happy to do the research and put it out there.
and watch all the videos.
Don't know about that.
So Gary, we've got some products to show off.
I've got a couple of products. We mentioned earlier on in regards to the 55th anniversary of Profile Racing, and they've brought out limited edition gold hubs, which we've still got some in stock. They did come out a few weeks ago, and majority of them have sold. We can rebuild them in any configuration. The one showing there is virtually set up for street with hex bolts and 9-tooth driver. But if you want to run that with a 15-tooth cog, a gold alloy cog, and volcano bolts or whatever for your race bike, we can set it up to suit. Pretty well all the profile hubs we rebuild going out of here. So the concept is that, you know, we can put it together however you like. So that one there is shown as virtually a street process, but yeah, it's a high flange limited edition 55th anniversary hub set, and they're only available in hub set. You can't buy the front and rear separately. And I think at this stage we've probably got maybe half a dozen left, and that's it. So jump on if you're interested in those. Another thing we've got going at the moment, we've got a bit of a sale that started yesterday on some Stay Strong gloves. I don't even know which camera I'm looking at, but it doesn't really matter.
Find it anyway.
These colourways are
Still
available at the moment, which is
still very current and appealing design.
Oh yeah, the MTVs, For Life, the Mashup, and the Staple glove. They're on sale at the moment, so jump on the site if need be, or chase up your local dealer. There's not many. They're only until stocks last. And we did have a store yesterday that took 80 of them. Thanks, Mark, over at Midlands. And chase him up or just, so that's a bit of a sale we've got going at the moment until they're all gone.
What sizes are they? Youth through to adult?
Youth extra small up to adult extra large. So, yeah, massive range. Yeah. And I should have grabbed a youth extra small because, they're tiny. There is a size chart on the side as well, so you can have a look at those. We've also just received some new carbon rims from Stay Strong in 20-inch and 24-inch, and also Expert, the 20 by 1 3/8. So they're available in obviously a matte black with matte decals, either in white or grey, and we do have a couple of red ones that we got in specifically for a customer. And one of the unique things about this is there's a new concept coming out with carbon rims, and I'll try and put it in front of this camera. That might help. You can see a small breather hole in the side of the rim, and that goes right through the rim. And what it actually is...
Doesn't that so you can play it like a flute?
I think it's you put a spoke through it so you can hang it up or something. No, it's a tiny breather hole. It comes in all the rims. It's a concept that I think will be coming into other carbon rim manufacturers as well. I know the manufacturer of these particular rims says he's doing it for a couple of brands. And it is basically a breather hole. There's a couple of reasons. One is that some moisture does get in there, gives the opportunity for the rim to breathe, because obviously once you get the rim tape, tyre on there, spokes, nipples and everything like that, it seals the rim, but moisture does build up with just condensation or whatever.
People hosing their bikes off and all the rest of it.
Breathe, but yeah, they hose it off, and there's some that get a bit of water in there, so you can actually release it, and that's why there's a breather hole on both sides, so you can let water out. But it also stops, I believe it'd help with the electrolysis, because you would have, stainless steel spokes or titanium spokes with brass nipples. And if moisture builds up, you can get a little bit of electrolysis there, whereas this helps it breathe. So
electrolysis is fusing the two together?
It's two metals that conflict. And if you get moisture in there as well, and look, don't shoot me, I'm not an expert on metals and everything, but I believe that's how it works. And with moisture in there, it does create that a bit of electrolysis between metals. So if you do purchase rims moving forward and you see a little hole that goes through the both sides of the rim surface, don't be concerned that you've got a faulty rim. It actually is a new design that's coming out in a lot of carbon rims. So they've just turned up. Price-wise, I've got a feeling they're like $5.99 a rim or something like that. But anyway, they're on our website currently, and chase them up at any good dealer. Look, there's an absolute truckload, literally, of new products, but being the first episode in 6 months, we don't want to go through all that. We're still in the process of unpacking a lot of cartons and pallets and everything and finding places for them in the new warehouse. Pretty excited about the new warehouse, and like Shane said, we'll do a walk around in the next month, I'd say, once we're finally settled in, all the products set up on the shelves and we've prettied up the place a little bit. But considering we only started trading here on Monday, we only moved the previous week. So all orders, there's been no disruption. Ryan and I have really, plus other people, have done a fantastic job moving us in and trading all the way through without losing a day's trade, and still have orders every day. All the orders are going out. So it's been a monumentous effort on everyone's behalf. So we'll probably have an open day in a few months, so you can come and check it out. But at the moment, it's still in Wurrialek in Eastern Victoria, but yeah.
So with a bigger warehouse, does that mean more products?
Not necessarily at this stage. What it just means is that we can lay the products out a bit better. We probably will look at some more products, but that could be 6 or 12 months down the track. At this stage, a lot of the brands that we distribute for are expanding quite a bit. Like Profile expand all the time with new cranks, new hubs, et cetera, et cetera. The older stuff, I did notice today that they're reinventing the Whippet chainring. So when you consider that these companies have massive ranges, plus history, 55-year history with someone like Profile, and they keep bringing out repops, it's, you've still got to have shelf space for that. So you haven't just got a massive range of products. You've got older stuff that's becoming popular again, so they're starting to manufacture, and they're building new things. So they're developing new products, which just means for us more shelf space. You've got other companies like BRG, Chase, 11, Insight, et cetera, XS, that are expanding their range anyway. So it's almost a weekly thing that they're bringing out new products. And for us, expanding into a bigger warehouse just really means that the brands that we're currently doing, we've got more shelf space for them. So it's just constant. There's new products virtually every week.
It's funny, you only mentioned a couple of names there, but straight away I thought of Answer S Squared too. They're pretty much the same.
Answer S Squared the same. They've just recently brought out a bigger range of dagger forks. They're bringing out a bigger range of products under the Answer umbrella. So it's a constant battle. So in regards to bringing in new brands into ECI, probably not for some time, but the expansion of the brands that we're currently doing is just massive. So we just need more shelf space.
Just seeing the hat you're wearing, it reminded me of this whole big BMX scene, the 26ers and the 29ers. How's that affected your business? Do you get a lot of people asking for 26er stuff and 29er stuff? Or?
Not a great deal. We're not known for that field, so we get the odd request. You know, we've recently had to build a set of 29er wheels and things like that with profile hubs. But yeah, it's not a big part of it. It's probably something that we will start to push later on, because you know, similar to what we're talking about now, and I know I keep going back to profile, but you know, profile do a massive range of road hubs, mountain bike hubs, etc., and we don't dabble much with that market simply because we haven't had the space previously. Whereas now that we've got the space, we'll probably expand into that. So that 29 or 26 type inch market will probably start to push a lot more moving forward, because now we've got the facility that we can actually house that stuff. So, but yeah, exciting times. Been a lot of hard work, but yeah, it's the future's looking rosy for the industry, for everything. Like it's quite good.
You do look a lot more relaxed today than you have in the past few weeks.
Yeah, we've gone through a fair bit. So, but yeah, things are starting to level out now, and life's starting to get a bit back to normal, which is quite good. So.
And that means we could have another episode of ECITV within the next 6 months.
Oh, it'll be. There won't be 6 monthly episodes. No, we'll get back to some sort of regularity. It's always good at my age. So yeah, we will have another episode coming out very soon, and regular episodes from there on, and with input from viewers for topics and products or anything like that. Like we've always said, we're more than happy to sit down here. We've got a nice, comfortable couch now. So Dane Anderson, anyone else that wants to come in and sit down and have a chat about their products or anything, the door's always open. So it'd be great to see some other manufacturers or distributors or whatever to come in and show us some of their, showcase some of their products. It's not just an ECI thing. We're more than happy to show anything to do with BMX. So
we'll talk about other products. I have spoken to guys at CTD about visiting them.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, they were pretty keen.
Yeah, I've got to find time to do that.
Yeah, of course.
But also with Ultra, we've done a whole bunch of reviews lately, a whole bunch of new ODI grips, Batima forks. That's kind of more 26er, 29er oriented sort of stuff. I saw Chrome Molly forks that were Tange made and thought, oh, this would be great. I'll put them on my race bike and race with them and have a bit of a old school look about them. But I got them out of the box and they were 1.3 kilos, which is 500 grams heavier than the race forks I was using. Yeah. I thought, oh, that's disappointing. But I thought, screw it, I'll get it out of the perfect display box that any collector would put in their glass cabinet and chuck them on a bike and go for a ride. And I thought I was going to have to huck them to get them off the ground. But they were fun to ride with, so I did a product review on that. You can check that out on Ultra. And at the moment, I'm playing with the new ProStart Max Pro Gate that was supplied by ProStart and CTD. So getting my gate on and trying to work that into training, and training's a bit foreign for me. I damaged my back, I think it was 12 years ago now, and ever since it's just been about the riding and enjoying it. But like I said, the bigger you are, the harder you fall. So I'm trying to make myself a bit smaller, and I can't go shorter. So that's been fun, just doing gates in the shed at home, not having to drive, 60 minutes to go to do gates, and it's been good. I fully solo, like I can operate it myself.
That's
just
fantastic.
tap a button with my foot and get ready to go and go with the lights. So I'll be doing a product review on that soon, but you'll see photos of that. And I think I did a product spotlight of it a little while ago, and I believe it's not actually being launched until late next week. So I think around June 15 maybe.
Yeah. Ah, cool. It's funny when you're talking about the heavy forks and having to huck your bike. I actually had a phone call from Trevor King yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Trevor King's been around for a million years, freestyle ramp rider, flatlander. He used to ride for us back in the day when we used to do a lot of demonstrations at schools and festivals and everything. And, he rang me yesterday inquiring about his war pig. Now,
It's that thing that was hanging on the wall.
He wanted to know if I still had his S&M War Pig. Like I said, Trevor used to ride for us in the day. I built him up a bike. I've still got it. And he was just curious as to whether I had it or not. And there's a video of Knox Dave trying to bunny hop it in our previous warehouse and getting it like an inch off the ground. And the reason being is when you talk about weights, it's a fraction under 20 kilos. So I'll actually drag it out because Trevor wanted to know whether I had it and whether it's still rideable. So it might be a bit of a challenge. I might drag it in here and put it on one of the episodes. But yeah, I'd love to try and work out a way to put some heavier pedals or heavier pegs or something on to crack that 20 kilos. But I remember last time I weighed it, it was like 19.8 kilos or something. So yeah, we'll drag that out and have a bit of a look at that.
That's another indication of the progression of the sport, isn't it?
Oh, it's incredible. Trevor and I were talking about that yesterday, and massive, heavy, but it was such an advantage in ramp because you had that weight and the momentum and stability of a heavy bike. You know, it's but honestly, it's a pig. It's a good name for a war pig because it is a pig. So, but yeah, I'll drag it in so you can have a look at it. There's a few things like that. And on that subject too, there is I've got a reasonable history, not as long as Shane, but a reasonable history in BMX. And I suppose, business side of things, it's probably close to 30 years now that I've been in business in BMX. And this move has highlighted there's a fair bit of stuff that I found that's been sitting around in my dungeon and there's still a 20-foot container sitting where we were previously that I haven't tapped into yet. And so keep an eye on the garage sale portion of our website because I'm going to be listing a fair bit of stuff, secondhand, old stuff, mid-school, old school and stuff like that on the garage sale portion of the website. I've come to the realisation that it's no point just putting it aside, that I need to probably sell a lot of this stuff. So, yeah, there'll be old things dragged out.
Just give your friends a call before you...
Oh, yeah, I know. There's Paul Knoxes, Danny Boobies and Trevor Webbers and all these people that are dying to get into this container I've got.
And the Shane Jenkinses.
And the Shane Jenkinses, yeah. There's not a lot of stuff in there, but I know every now and then I'll drag a box out and I'll think, what's that? Oh, it's a set of DK iron cross pedals. I should do something with those or whatever. It's just even old original Toughneck products. We've gone through the story of Toughneck and ECI's involvement with Toughneck, but I saw a box the other day that had some original seat posts and stems and from Toughneck era. So prior to ECI owning Toughneck, when it was
the original
Toughneck USA brand products. Yeah, so there's there's not a huge amount, but there's bits and pieces like that I keep coming across, and yeah, I've even dragged out some t-shirts that I'm going to be selling on there, some old S&M Whip and original DK General Lee t-shirts and things like that I found. So.
Very cool.
Yeah, so keep an eye on that anyway, the garage sale side of things at the website. So
your fishing fund.
Yep. I've got a big fishing trip coming up October. It's costing a few dollars. So, it'll help fund that. I need a few more fishing rods, I probably don't. I've got 83, so I might have to sell a few. Maybe they'll be on the garage sale. Anyway, off the subject.
All right, well, we should wrap it up.
Yeah, thanks everyone. And again, we apologise for such a long pause between episodes, but yeah, things have been pretty chaotic and things are back to normal. Well, as normal as things can be. And really excited about the opportunity to have a chance to show you the new digs when we're fully set up here. So.
All right.
I've missed you, mate, and missed everyone else. So this is really good to get back into it and get the mindset and back onto some BMX products and just, general chit-chat.
So there's 4 people that I spoke to over the last 6 months.
Are you 4?
Here's that episode I was promising.
Okay, everyone, take care out there and see you around. No, that was good.